Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are fine. In previous video, we have studied about Benjamin Jonson. In today's turn, we will study about Johann Donne, whose time period starts in 1572 and ends in 1631. So, let's get started. He was an English poet. Under royal patronage, he was made Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral in London. Royal patronage, royal guidance. Royal guidance ਦੇ ਅੰਡਰ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਡੀਨ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ St. Paul's Cathedral in London. He was representative of metaphysical poets. He was representative of metaphysical poets. It is very important term, metaphysical. Metaphysical poets always write metaphysical poetry. So now, what is the term called? This is a type of poetry that deals with the deep ideas like love, death, soul, religion and philosophy in a thoughtful and intellectual way. ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਪਰੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਲ ਵੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਚਣ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਆ that is called metaphysical poetry. Dr. Johnson applied this term metaphysical to Donne's poetry. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਜੌਨਸਨ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਮੈਟਾਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟਰਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਨਸ ਦੀ ਪੋਇਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਲਗਾਈ। ਕਿਸ ਬੁੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਇਨ ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫ ਕਾਉਲੇ। ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ, ਯੂ ਹੈਵ ਟੂ ਰਿਮੈਂਬਰ ਇਟ। ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫ ਕਾਉਲੇ, ਪਾਰਟ ਆਫ ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫ ਦ ਮੋਸਟ ਐਮੀਨੈਂਟ ਪੋਇਟਸ। ਇੱਕ ਬਿਗ ਬੁੱਕ ਲਿਖੀ ਗਈ ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫ ਦ ਮੋਸਟ ਐਮੀਨੈਂਟ ਪੋਇਟਸ। ਉਸ ਪੋਇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਲਾਈਫ ਆਫ ਕਾਉਲੇ ਨਾਮ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਪੋਇਟਰੀ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਡਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਜੋਹਨ ਡਨ ਉਹ ਮੈਟਾਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਹੈ। Now who is Dr. Johnson? It is assumed that it may be Samuel Johnson or it may be Ben Jonson or Benjamin Johnson, about whom we have already studied. So remember it. It is very important question, that on which poet or on which author metaphysical term was applied. The answer is Johann Donne. And who applied it? Dr. Johnson. Now another term, Ben Jonson said, Donne was the first poet of the world in something, conceit, etc., but likely to perish for not being understood. ਬੈਂਜਾਮਿਨ ਜੌਨਸਨ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਨ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਵਰਲਡ ਦਾ ਫਰਸਟ ਪੋਇਟ ਸੀ ਜਿਸਨੇ ਕਨਸੀਟਸ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ, ਕੁਝ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ। I'm gonna tell you about conceits soon. But he was faded away for not being understood. ਉਸਦੀ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਈ ਗਈ, ਉਹ ਫੇਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਪੈਰਿਸ਼ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਉਸਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਪਾਈ ਗਈ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੀਗਾ। ਨਾਓ ਵਾਟ ਡਜ਼ ਮੀਨ ਬਾਈ ਕੰਸੀਟਸ? Conceits is a type of a comparison, like we compare the things, okay, good and bad, this and that, we compare the things, especially in the opposite way. But what is the difference, what is the special in conceits? It is a comparison, surprising comparison between two unlike things. Especially चीज़ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ imagine ਹੀ ਨਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ ਹੈ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਮਝਾ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਕੰਪੈਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ, that word is called conceits. So ਜੋਹਨ ਡਨ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਸੀਟਸ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਪੋਇਮਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। For example, in one of his poem, he compared two lovers with the 2 legs of compass. So it is a very rare or surprising comparison which he has used. Now come on the another point. Isaac Walton. Isaac Walton wrote the biography of John Donne. It is also must come question who wrote the biography of John Donne. He was Isaac Walton. Another comes the important question, who introduced the term crown? Crown term was introduced by John Donne in his Holy Sonnets. Holy means Pavitra, sonnet means poem of 14 lines. Okay, now what is the crown? Crown is a sequence of 7 sonnets. ਜਦੋਂ 7 sonnets ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ sequence ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, continue ਲਿਖਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, they are called crown. Got it? So it is also one of the very important question that who introduced the term crown in poetry? John Donne is the right answer. Now he wrote 2 anniversaries. Anniversary means celebration. So he celebrated his career, not his actual anniversary, but he celebrated his career in these 2 anniversaries. What are they? An Anatomy of the World, 1611, Of the Progress of the Soul in 1612. Of the Progress of the Soul was written in Roman language and it was of 52 lines. So remember these important questions, which were 2 anniversaries written by John Donne. An Anatomy of the World 1611, Of the Progress of the Soul 1612, but written in Roman language and 52 lines. If there is mention specifically with any work that it has these how many lines, कुछ भी special जेड़ा दिता होंदा ना, whatever given is with any work, it means that you have to remember. Listen, one thing I want to clear to all of you, that I have prepared these notes 3 or 4 years ago and I have cracked my exam after these notes, with these notes. So I am dead sure if you cram all these notes, these are not subjective, they are no long stories, short notes, important notes which will help you in cracking the exam. So if you learn these questions, these works properly, if you cram these works and their years and authors and their works, you will definitely crack the exam. So do it with dedication. ਇਹ नहीं कि हाँ एक बारी कर लिया, नेक्स्ट डे नहीं किया, दिल नहीं कर रहा, आज रहन दो, हजे नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आया. No, think about it, just fix the goal, start doing, work on it, and easily you can do it. मन जीते जग जीत. ਜਦੋਂ सोच लवांगे कि करना ही है, then everything will be easy for you. Now come on now we will talk about poetic works, poetic collections of John Donne. The first work is Biothanotes. Biothanotes was written in 1608, but it was published posthumously. Posthumously means death to baad. Okay, and it was taken from Greek language. Biothanotes means it is related to life and death. Another meaning it is related to death and life. Biothanotes. Then another work comes Pseudo-Martyr, 1610. It was a prose work in the way of pamphlet. Pamphlet the रूप दे विच लिखा गया सी. Pseudo-Martyr 1610, prose work in the form of pamphlet. Now another work, Ignatius his Conclave, 1611. Devotions upon emergent occasions and several steps in my sickness. It was written in 1624. It was also a prose work. जिथे स्पेशली मेंशन किया गया that it is prose work, तो prose है, otherwise other are poems. On number 5, they were written poems. The title of the work was Poems in 1633. Then he wrote Holy Sonnets or Divine Meditations in 1633. These holy sonnets or divine meditations were dedicated to George Herbert's mother. Who was George Herbert? He was the friend of Donne. A series of 19 poems were there. In holy sonnets, 19 poems were included, and they were written in 1633. Another important poem, Hymn to God the Father, A Valediction Forbidding Mourning, That We Not Proud, opening is the which That We Not Proud, it is important, is the which opening hundi hai, Die not poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me, is the opening hundi hai is poem di in a lines de naal. So it is also one of the things to remember. Canonization, ecstasy, the flea, the sunrising, the good morrow, the better my heart, for whom the bell tolls. It is tolls symbolized death, or we can say theme of this poem is death. The relic is addressed to Mrs. Magdalen Herbert. I don't know who was she, but it was addressed to Mrs. Magdalen Herbert. No man is an island. A nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day. It is another to remember, one of the important question. Nocturnal upon St. Lucy's Day. It was an elegy written by John Donne. For whom it was written? It was written on the death of Donne's friend Lucy. Who was Lucy? She was the Countess of Bedford. Okay, Countess of Bedford. Bedford एक area है, उत्थों दी Countess सीगी Lucy. And जॉहन डन ने अपनी बेटी का नाम भी जड़ा उसी फ्रेंड के नाम से रखा, लूसी डन, हिज डॉटर. Another work is Air and Angels. Death's Dwell. 160 sermons लिखियां गई Death's Dwell ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Sermons means उपदेश देने, ठीक है, उपदेश कोई धार्मिक ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਰਮਨ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਡੈਥ ਵੈਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਫਿਊਨਰਲ ਸਰਮਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ. ਉਸਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਇਮੇਜਿਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਡੈਥ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਡੈਥ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਰਮਨ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ. ਹੀ ਇਮੇਜਿਨਡ ਇਟ ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ ਰੋਟ ਇਟ ਐਂਡ ਸੀ ਇਟ ਵਾਜ਼ ਹਿਜ਼ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਰਕ. ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਨੋ ਡੈਸਟਨੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਨੇੜੇ ਹੈ. ਮੇਬੀ in this way he wrote this work and it was the last work of John Donne. So remember it always. Listen, one more important thing, you have to always remember the first work or very important work ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਫੇਮਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ. ਐਂਡ ਔਰ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਰਕ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਸਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੋਵੇ. that is you have to remember. और जॉन डन ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਰੋਬਰਟ ਬਰਾਉਨਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ. I hope you get my video, cleared all the points, ठीक है जी. One thing, listen, I want to say to all of you that you can find so many videos here and there on YouTube, okay ji. But these are notes, handmade notes prepared by myself. They are deadly sure that you will get your marks. Videos ਦੇ views ਵਧਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ notes ਨਹੀਂ prepare ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ. They are for your help. Truly they will help you to crack the exam if you will follow these notes properly. So keep watching my video. Keep learning, keep making your own notes with your own hands, keep cramming your work, and then revise it properly, keep learning. Thank you.